morning motivation team. How y'all doing this morning? If you haven't done so already, please thank the Lord that you woke up this morning. Go tell your family you love them. Go tell them good morning. Go ahead and invite me on the video. Y'all happy Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Oh, it's Tuesday. See there? I'm getting my days mixed up, man. The time moving a little too fast, getting a little suspicious. Getting a little suspicious, you know what I'm saying? The time moving fairly fast. But happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope everybody having a great day. I'm going to start titling my videos the day of the journey. So today is day 66 of the journey. And let's go ahead and get it started with the verse of the day. And I am reading Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. Now all glory to God who is able, through his mighty power at work within us, to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. You can ask for every good thing you have experienced. God can do above that. You can think of or imagine things beyond your experience. God can do above that. You can imagine good things that are beyond your ability to name. God can do above that. Only God can do this because he can do far beyond our ability to think or ask. We can ask for whatever we want. God gonna be like, that's it? All you want is $20 for gas? First of all, he gonna be like, I'm gonna see if you have faith. He gonna make you wait until the last minute. You gonna be on E, talking about line right here. You like y'all got about this much space in between the line and E. He gonna be like, I'm wait till you get right there, and boom, $100. He gonna hit you with $100 out of nowhere. Somebody gonna be like, somebody gonna cash you $100. But hey, that's what I think about the verse. Y'all let me know what y'all think. With that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and get to the book. And we are starting chapter 20 and 20. We're doing chapter 20 and 21 today. The Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, any Israelite or any foreigner residing in Israel who sacrifices any of his children to Molech is to be put to death. The members of the community are to stone him. I myself will set my face against him and will cut him off from his people. For by sacrificing his children to Molech, he has been defiled my sanctuary and profaned my holy name. If the members of the community close their eyes when that man sacrifices one of his children to Molech, and if they fail to put him to death, I myself will set my face against him and his family and will cut them off from their people together, with all who follow him in prostituting themselves to Molech. Molech was worshipped by heating a metal statue representing the god until it was red hot, then placing a living sacrifice. Y'all, the living sacrifice, just know it ain't no animal. Now, y'all gonna have to, if y'all read what I was, if y'all heard what I was reading, y'all will know what it was. It wasn't no animal. It's fairly sad, you know what I'm saying? Sad. So, God commanded that the execution should be carried out by the community, just so it would show it was a sin against the community. And to ignore great evil is evil in itself. And that's why God would handle it himself if they didn't handle it. I will set my face against anyone who turns to mediums and spiritists to prostitute themselves by following them, and I will cut them off from their people. Consecrate yourselves and be holy, because I am the Lord your God. Keep my decrees and follow them. I am the Lord who makes you holy. God will not force them to be separated from him. He does the work, but he does the work through our cooperating efforts and yielded will. Highlight, y'all. If y'all got a highlighter around, if y'all don't mind highlighting something, please. Highlight verse 8. Keep my decrees and follow them. I am the Lord who makes you holy. Anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death because they have cursed their father or mother. Their blood will be on their own head. And not talking bad, not like talking bad to their father or mother. It's like actually calling a curse upon them, like witchcraft type stuff. If a man commits adultery with another man's wife, the wife of his neighbor, both the adulterer and the adulteress are to be put to death. If a man has sexual relations with his father's wife, he has dishonored his father. Both the man and woman are to be put to death. Their blood will be on their own heads. If a man has sexual relations with his daughter-in-law, both of them are to be put to death. What they have done is a perversion. Their blood will be on their own heads. Adultery is wrong. Cursing your parents is wrong. Incest is wrong. Even who commit the sins and escape the penalty is wrong. Incest was explained more in chapter 18 of Leviticus, But perversion was something that is out of harmony with the normal order of creation. So y'all, from verses 13 through 19, it just repeated from chapter 18. It was talking about the punishments of homosexuality, bestiality, and it was talking about incest, and the penalties for these sins were the person that committed them would be cut off from their people. And most of the time, they were executed. Verses 20 and 21, that's where we at. If a man has sexual relations with his aunt, he has dishonored his uncle. They will be held responsible. They will die childless. If a man marries his brother's wife, it is an act of impurity. He has dishonored his brother. They will be childless. Keep all my decrees and laws and follow them, so that the land where I am bringing you to live may not vomit you out. You must not live according to the customs of the nations I am going to drive out before you. Because they did all these things, I abhorred them. But I said to you, you will possess their land. I will give it to you as an inheritance, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who has set you apart from the nations. The Canaanites that lived in the promised land were the ones deep into these sins, and Israel was going to be the ones to drive them out of the land and let God judge them. Israel was chosen because they have an important role in God's unfolding plan of ages. They were chosen to receive the covenant, God's revealed word, and chosen to be the lineage of the Messiah. Every believer is separated into God for his purpose and plan. You must therefore make a distinction between clean and unclean animals, between unclean and clean birds. Do not defile yourselves by any animal or bird or anything that moves along the ground. Those that I have set apart as unclean for you. You are to be holy to me because I, the Lord, am holy, and I have set you apart from the nations to be my own. These plans weren't only for Israel to get the land, it was also for God to possess Israel so they could be holy for him. All right, chapter 21. There you go. They keep the ball rolling. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say to them, a priest must not make himself ceremonially unclean for any of his people who die, except for a close relative, such as his mother or father, his son or daughter, his brother, or an unmarried sister who is dependent on him since she has no husband. For her, he may make himself unclean. He must not make himself unclean for people related to him by marriage, and so defile himself. Any contact with the dead body quickly will make a person unclean. Not just a person, but a priest. Even with being in the same room, coming close to the dead was to defile or make dirty of the priest. God did not want his holy priest to be closely associated with death. A priest could participate in burial rites for immediate family, but not for no one else. Priests must not shave their heads or shave off their edges of their beards or cut off their bodies. They must be holy to their God and must not profane the name of their God. Because they present the food offerings to the Lord, the food of their God, they are to be holy. They must not marry women defiled by prostitution or divorced from their husbands, because priests are holy to their God. Regard them as holy because they offer up the food of your God. Consider them holy because I, the Lord, am holy. If a priest's daughter defiles herself by becoming a prostitute, she disgraces her father. She must be burned in the fire. To be profane means to be the opposite of holy. And priests had to be holy because they're the ones that bring up the new bread into the tabernacle. Their special privileges also mean that they have special responsibilities. Food of their God included sacrificial food portions that belonged to the priests. Priests were only to take virgins for wives. A priest was to only set their affection onto something pure. We have verse 10. Chapter 21, verse 10. The high priest, the one among his brothers who has had the anointing oil poured on his head and who has been ordained to wear the priestly garments, must not let his hair become unkempt or tear his clothes. He must not enter a place where there is a dead body. He must not make himself unclean, even for his father or mother, nor leave the sanctuary of his God or desecrate it, because he has been dedicated by the anointed oil of his God. I am the Lord. The woman he marries must be a virgin. He must not marry a widow, a divorced woman, or a woman defiled by prostitution, but only a virgin from his own people, so that he will not defile his offspring among his people. I am the Lord who makes him holy. So, the common priests were commanded to not defile themselves for the dead. An exception was made for certain close relatives. The high priest was prohibited from mourning or coming into contact with any dead body, even his mother or father. The high priest also had to raise his children before the Lord and not profane them by any dedication to the pagan gods of the surrounding nations. The Lord said to Moses, "Say to Aaron, for the generations to come, none of your descendants who has a defect may come near to offer the food of his God. No man who has any defect may come near. No man who is blind or lame, disfigured or deformed, no man with a crippled foot or hand, or who is a hunchback or a dwarf, or who has an eye defect, or who has a festering or running sores or damaged testicles. No descendant of Aaron, the priest, who has any defect is to come near to present the food offerings to the Lord. He has a defect. He must not come near to offer the food of his God. He may eat the most of holy food of his God as well as the holy food, yet because of his defect, he must not go near the curtain or approach the altar and so desecrate my sanctuary. I am the Lord who makes them holy." So Moses told this to Aaron and his sons and to all the Israelites. This showed God's standard for those who would come before him in service as priests. They could come and eat the holy food, but to serve as a priest was not an answer. And that's where we're going to end off today also. So, if y'all enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Testimony coming soon. Testimony video coming soon. Just got to work with the schedule that I'm working with right now. Yeah, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? This channel going to grow real soon. Bad community. Thank y'all for growing. Blessing Bitch Generation. We coming. We out.